2018. Adequate notice of this meeting has been provided to the public and the press on January 5th, 2018, and was posted on the bulletin board in the municipal building in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act, NJSA 10:4-7.
Roll call.
Councilmember Ooms.
Here.
Councilmember Kadesh.
Here.
Councilmember Van Tassel.
Here.
Councilmember Walberger.
Here.
Council President Murphy.
Here. Please rise to salute the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. This evening, we have the swearing-in of two new police officers. Will Chief Mills please come forward?
Thank you, Council President. Thank you, Mayor. Tonight is one of those happy events where we get to get together. We have two new officers who aren't as new as it might appear. Joe White was hired about 7-8 months ago. I had to go through the police academy. Which one do we have on the agenda first?
Maines?
Matt Maines. All right, let's start with Matt Maines. Matt, you want to come up with your family? Matt Maines comes to us from the Sussex County Sheriff's Office, where he had spent 8 years, 5 of those years as in the Sussex County Narcotics Task Force. He brings a great deal of experience in that particular area to us. We need to thank Sheriff Strada for allowing him to transfer, because without Sheriff Strada's permission, this particular transfer wouldn't happen. So tonight we're here to congratulate Matt and welcome him to Vernon.
I, Matthew J. Maines,
Do solemnly affirm
do solemnly affirm
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith
and that I will bear true faith
and allegiance to the same,
and allegiance to the same,
and to the governments established in the United States
and to the governments established in the United States
and in this state,
and in this state,
under the authority of the people.
under the authority of the people.
I do further solemnly affirm
I do further solemnly affirm
that I will faithfully,
that I will faithfully,
impartially, and justly
impartially, and justly
perform all the duties
perform all the duties
as a police officer of the Vernon Township Police Department
as a police officer of the Vernon Township Police Department
according to the best of my abilities,
according to the best of my abilities,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations. And if you would be so kind to also sign here.
Yes, sir.
As Matt is signing his paperwork, next up we have Joe White. Joe White comes to us again from the Sussex County Sheriff's Department in the Corrections Division, where he spent 9 years. Joe's born and raised in Vernon, went to Vernon Township High School, and we're fortunate enough, he was high enough on our list that we were able to grab him.
Congratulations.
He just finished the police academy. It's the second time, because
Congrats.
we went to corrections too, so that's quite an achievement.
Congratulations.
A couple months ago, so let's welcome Joe White to Vernon Township.
Sure, come on up. Repeat after me, but hold it up so you can thank the Father.
I, Joseph D. White,
Do solemnly affirm
do solemnly affirm
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith
and that I will bear true faith
and allegiance to the same,
and allegiance to the same,
and to the governments established in the United States
and to the governments established in the United States
and in this state,
and in this state,
under the authority of the people.
under the authority of the people.
I do further solemnly affirm
I do further solemnly affirm
that I will faithfully,
that I will faithfully,
impartially, and justly
impartially, and justly
perform all the duties
perform all the duties
as a police officer
as a police officer
of the Vernon Township Police Department
of Vernon Township Police Department
according to the best of my abilities,
according to the best of my abilities.
so help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Just sign here.
So in closing, I'd like to thank the mayor, the council president. These are important appointments. They keep our staffing level at 32 officers, which is the highest it's been in a long time. Mayor Shirley was able to get us up to 32 officers, working with the town council. You know, every day you're reading in the paper, especially lately, the heroin and the fentanyl. Having as fully staffed department as possible is critical, and us being able to assign officers to work in those areas and spend more time in those areas. So again, I want to thank the council president, the council, and the mayor for your support.
Thank you, Chief, for all you do. Thank you.
At this time, would you like to take, maybe the council would like to take a short recess, because I'm not quite sure if the families are planning on staying. So this way, it'll give you an opportunity. May I have a motion to go into recess for 5 minutes? Second?
Second.
All in favor?
That's why you're afraid.
Public comments. Please note, public comments are limited to 3 minutes per person, and this public session is for items on the agenda only. So if there's anyone that has any comments on any agenda items, please note on the second reading of ordinances, we will be open to the public before each of the ordinances that are on a second reading. So if anybody has any comments on any agenda items before that? Nope. I have a motion to close? Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Next, may I have a motion to adopt the following minutes? I have the minutes for December 11th.
Motion?
I'll second.
Roll call?
Yes.
Councilmember Kadesh?
Yes.
Councilmember Van Tassel?
Abstain.
Councilmember Goldberger?
Abstain.
Councilmember Murphy?
Yes. Next, we have the consent agenda. May I have a motion to adopt resolutions 1875 and 1876? 1875, these fireworks are for the Special Olympics. And Mayor, do you have any comments on the Special Olympics?
I've had the pleasure the last 2 years being there, and it's a wonderful event, especially seeing these fine athletes, how hard they work, and it's really something when they come down the mountain with all the flares and then the fireworks afterwards. So it's really worth attending to see this, and they put so much hard work. And last year, one of our residents ended up going to Europe to compete. So it's really worthwhile.
And the second resolution is a land use appointment. May I have a motion to adopt resolutions 1875 and 1876?
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Roll call?
Yes.
Yes.
Councilmember Van Tassel?
Yes.
Councilmember Goldberger?
Yes.
Council President Murphy?
Yes. Next, we have an introduction, Ordinance 1807, bond ordinance making a supplemental appropriation of $210,000 for the acquisition of a new fire truck heretofore authorized to be undertaken by the Township of Vernon in the County of Sussex, New Jersey, and authorizing the issuance of $200,000 in bonds or notes of the Township for financing such supplemental appropriations. This bond ordinance is to supplement the previous bond ordinance for the purchase of a fire truck. These additional funds are to include additional equipment for the truck. May I have a motion to introduce Ordinance 1807 with a public hearing to be held on February 15th, 2018?
Motion?
Is there a second?
Second.
Roll call?
Yes.
Councilmember Kadesh?
Yes.
Tassel?
Yes.
Councilmember Goldberger?
Abstain.
Councilmember Murphy?
Yes.
Carried to the public hearing on February 15th.
Next, we have Ordinance 1808, calendar year 2018 ordinance to exceed the municipal budget appropriations limit and to establish a cap bank, NJSA 40A:4-45.14. The state has set a cap or limit in the amount of spending the municipality may make on items in order to keep municipal taxes low. The cap banker reserve allows that if a municipality does not spend all of its limit in a given year as allowed by law, it may bank or reserve that amount for future years up to 2 years. May I have a motion to introduce Ordinance 1808 with a public hearing to be held February 15th, 2018?
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Roll call?
Councilmember Eames?
Yes.
Councilmember Davis?
Yes.
Councilmember Van Tassel?
Yes.
Councilmember Wahlberger?
Yes.
Council President Murphy?
Yes.
Motion carries to introduce ordinance 1808, public hearing on February 18th.
Next, we have the second reading of Ordinance 1801, an ordinance of the Mayor and Council of the Township of Vernon in the County of Sussex, State of New Jersey, providing for the municipal consent of the Township for Suez Water, New Jersey, to provide water service to the village of Lake Glenwood in the Township of Vernon, and for the laying of pipes and the installation of other utility facilities that may be necessary. This authorizes Suez to provide pipes and water facilities to the village of Lake Glenwood. May I have a motion to open to the public hearing for Ordinance 1801?
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Is there anyone from the public that would like to step up and comment on Ordinance 1801? Seeing no one from the public, may I have a motion to close?
Motion closed.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? May I have a motion to adopt Ordinance 1801?
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Roll call?
Councilmember Eames?
Yes.
Councilmember Davis?
Yes.
Councilmember Van Tassel?
Yes.
Councilmember Wahlberger?
Yes.
Council President Murphy?
Yes.
Motion carries to adopt 1801.
Next, we have Ordinance 1802, Ordinance of the Township of Vernon, County of Sussex, State of New Jersey, amending Chapter 148 and Chapter 250 of the Code of the Township of Vernon regarding potentially dangerous dogs. This establishes the annual licensing fee for potentially dangerous dogs. Please note, a potentially dangerous dog is determined to be such through a court proceeding. May I have a motion to open to the public hearing for Ordinance 1802?
Motion.
Second? Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Is there anyone from the public that would like to step up and address Ordinance 1802?
Phyllis McPeak, Vernon, New Jersey. I'm here about the fee you want to charge for the potential dangerous dog license. Kind of high. Just because other towns are, some of them do not have full-time animal control officers. They have part-time animal control officers. Some have contracts with other towns. These towns have to hire the animal control officers to come and do an extra service and pay an extra fee. Dog licenses are due in the month of January. A lot of people would have a hard time with the extra bill, already paying extra for heat, lights, tax bills. I'm good with maybe like a $300 fee. That would help cover the cost. But look at the service our animal control does. Where could the new fees end? If we start charging for what they do. Other towns charges of $5 a month. License late fee. I don't know. Could you start charging for people to come to your house to pick up animals? I don't know. Our town is lucky. We have an animal control officer on call 24/7, 365 days a year. Snow, ice, rain, heat, hurricanes, some fires, some ambulance calls. They are there to help Vernon residents with an animal control problem. I don't know. What can you pay for? What will you charge? What won't you charge for later in down the years? This $700, I know some people's going to be putting their dog down because they just don't have it. I've seen it done with just starting from the beginning. They don't have the money to pay for a lawyer, which you need to get this. and a $700 fee after that. I guess I don't want to see anybody else. I've seen enough of it. I don't want to see people putting their dogs down. This is potentially dangerous. All you have to have is a score. You know, as I said, we have a good animal control. They're being paid through taxes. I'm fine with paying extra for taxes, but $700, that's just ridiculous. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Is there anyone else that would like to make a comment on this ordinance? Seeing no one else, may I have a motion to close to the public? Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? May I have a motion to adopt ordinance 1802?
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Roll call?
Councilmember Holmes?
Yes.
Councilmember Davis?
Yes.
Councilmember Van Tassel?
Yes.
Councilmember Wahlberger?
Yes.
Council President Murphy?
Yes.
Motion carries to adopt ordinance 1802.
Next, we have ordinance 1803, ordinance of the Township of Vernon, County of Sussex, State of New Jersey, amending Chapter 250 of the Code of the Township of Vernon regarding liquor license fees. This raises the fee for distribution, which is the store, and the hotel liquor licenses to be the same as restaurant liquor licenses. Currently, the ABC allows for these licenses all to have a fee of $2,500 per annum. However, the township charges $1,026.43 for a restaurant, but only $885.02 for a hotel and $426.81 for a store. This brings the hotel and store license fees in line with the restaurants. May I have a motion to open to the public hearing for ordinance 1803?
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Is there anyone from the public that would like to address ordinance 1803? Seeing no one come forward, may I have a motion to close to public?
Close.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? May I have a motion to adopt ordinance 1803?
Motion.
May I have a second?
Second.
Roll call?
Councilmember Holmes?
No.
Councilmember Davis?
Yes.
Councilmember Van Tassel?
Yes.
Councilmember Wahlberger?
Yes.
Council President Murphy?
Yes.
Motion carries to adopt ordinance 1803.
Next, we have ordinance 1804, an ordinance authorizing the sale of certain lands in Vernon Township to be sold at public auction in accordance with NJSA 40A:12-13. The township has hired Max Span auctioneers to auction off various conforming lots. This authorizes the auction. May I have a motion to open the public hearing for ordinance 1804?
Motion.
May I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Is there anyone from the public that would like to address ordinance 1804? Seeing no one come forward, may I have a motion to close to public?
Motion to close.
Have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any opposed? May I have a motion to adopt ordinance 1804?
Motion.
May I have a second?
Second.
Roll call?
Councilmember Holmes?
Yes.
Councilmember Davis?
Yes.
Councilmember Van Tassel?
Yes.
Councilmember Wahlberger?
Yes.
Council President Murphy?
Yes.
Motion carries to adopt ordinance 1803.
Next is ordinance 1805, an ordinance of the Township of Vernon, County of Sussex, State of New Jersey, authorizing the sale of property owned by the township and not required for public purposes, and more commonly known as Block 142.01, Lot 1. Similar to ordinance 1804, this authorizes the auction of the property known as the Faline Building. May I have a motion to open to the public hearing for ordinance 1805?
Motion.
May I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Is there anyone from the public that would like to address ordinance 1805? Please step forward.
Sally Rinker, Vernon. So much has already been said about this issue, but I want to appeal to our two new council members who have been disrespected by the efforts of Jean Murphy to undersell the Faline Building, regardless of all good business sense and pushing for your votes. We know she and the mayor expect you to vote yes tonight to sell Faline for a mere $90,000. The business administrator promised a second appraisal. Is that forthcoming, or we're just going to skip over that statement?
What's in the works?
Why do an appraisal if you're setting the price tonight? I don't understand the sequence
It's
of order.
going to be included in the auction, and the price will be set by the people we've
No, the
asked.
price is going to be, the bottom price is set by the ordinance tonight.
Right.
So the appraisal will have no effect on the $90,000 in the ordinance. After the appraisal was $297,000, although we all probably agree that it should come down from that number, but not all the way to 90. Let me make a few comments, please. When you vote for us, your vote should be given the same careful consideration as if it were for your personal affairs. Would you sell your home without a fair market analysis? No. Would you denigrate the property publicly prior to the sale, as Gene Murphy has done? Of course not. Would you cheat your family of the benefit of a wise financial decision? No. None of us would want to do that. Then please don't do it to the taxpayers. You asked to represent in your election. So you have to think of all of our money as if it was your personal money. And in fact, some of it really is, because we're all taxpayers here nevertheless. And we finally have an Economic Development Committee. So in the past, our Economic Development Committee in the town would work on a situation like that and try and procure a benefit for that property. When we try to force a developer, as is in this ordinance, to perform in a certain time frame, I can tell you that's probably going to be a big difficulty. Because if someone wants to do a franchise or some other operation there, oftentimes a franchise needs to approve the location before the franchise is approved. The location is optimum. So there's a lot of, there's going to be some restrictions with how this ordinance is written with that detail. I spoke about the detrimental effects of a very low sale price, bringing the value of all surrounding properties down in the town center. For example, the Cider Mill property. Vernon Firemen have some lots there they're trying to sell, and other properties that are nearby and not nearby, but in that town commercial zone. All will be worth less the minute Faline sells for $90,000 or some number close to that. One last comment. As Gene Murphy clearly compromised the fair bid process by approaching developers privately and soliciting them before the bid and the auction, she needs to abstain from voting tonight, I believe, as her conflict of interest will be solidified by that vote. And that will be reported to the appropriate agency. Thank you.
Is there anyone else from the public that would like to address this? Seeing no one else coming forward, can I have a motion to close the public?
Motion to close.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? May I have a motion to adopt Ordinance 1805?
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Roll call?
Councilmember Owens?
No.
Councilmember Kadesh?
Yes.
Councilmember Van Tassel?
Yes.
Councilmember Alberger?
Yes.
Council President Murphy?
Yes.
Motion carries to adopt ordinance 1805.
Next is Ordinance 1806, an ordinance amending Chapter 5, Article, what is that, 8?
94.
Thank you, 94, of the Municipal Code of the Township of Vernon. This corrects the number of members needed for a quorum for the Historic Preservation Commission. May I have a motion to open the public hearing for Ordinance 1806?
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Is there anyone from the public that would like to address Ordinance 1806? Seeing no one, may I have a motion to close the public hearing?
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? May I have a motion to adopt Ordinance 1806?
Motion.
May I have a second?
Second.
Roll call?
Councilmember Owens?
Yes.
Councilmember Kadesh?
Abstain.
Councilmember Van Tassel?
Yes.
Councilmember Alberger?
Yes.
Council President Marshall.
Yes.
Motion carries to adopt ordinance 1806.
Next, we move on to public comments. This public, what?
You gotta make a motion. Oh,
Well, I was just going to finish reading it. At this session, you may speak of any topic for 3 minutes. May I have a motion to open to public session?
Motion to open.
May I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Is there anyone from the public that would like to step up to address the council?
Hello, Bonnie Rubin, Highland Lakes, New Jersey. And at the last council meeting, I brought up an issue. I remarked about the new start time of Vernon's council meeting, 7 p.m., and also about the restrictions to the 3 minutes allotted to the public to voice their concerns. The first session, in the beginning of the meeting, only to discuss tonight's agenda, and the public's concerns relegated to the end of the meeting, regardless of how long the meeting lasts. Are Vernonites' concerns not important enough to be heard at the onset of a council meeting? Do you not represent an ear and perhaps a solution to your constituents' problems? The reason I brought these issues up is that they are changes to the meeting protocol from the previous council. Now, since the majority of Vernon's working class travels to work out of town, a resident must now decide whether to eat dinner and unwind a bit from his or her long work day and commute, or attend a council meeting. I wondered if the new council members were aware that these changes were recently made, or if they had discussed how these new rules could potentially affect the public's participation. Unlike department meetings that start at 7 p.m. where participants are volunteers, council meetings are an open public forum where citizens can notify their representatives of their concerns. In a time when Congress passes legislation that affects the financial future of millions of middle-class Americans without any public hearings or public input, when federal legislation is passed regarding the future of the Internet, despite overwhelming evidence that the majority of Americans oppose this stand, this is not the time for our local government to limit transparency. While I think 3 minutes is sufficient time to put a point across, why can't both agenda and personal issues be expressed at either public session? The purpose of the council meeting is to listen to and represent your constituents. You are here for them. They are not here for you. So if these new rules haven't been talked about by our new council, I implore you to discuss these issues with each other and go home and ask your family, friends, and neighbors what they think. Shouldn't Vernon's council meetings make public participation easier and not more difficult? Oh, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else that would like to address the council?
Good evening, Deja Vu, Gary Martinson. Vernon, congratulations on your reappointment as council president, and congratulations to the two new council members that I haven't gotten to see here yet. I sent all of you an email. I assume you got it. I also came in today and brought copies with me to get to you. The clerk let me know. I asked her to respond so that I would know that they had gotten here. She said when she responded, it kicked back, so I don't know if any of you responded to me and had the same problem with any response kicking back to me. If so, I apologize, and you're welcome to do something. You can always call. My concern, I'm not going to bring up the personal issue, as I mentioned. I think personnel issues, this isn't the right venue to discuss them. That should have been done in executive session, and I would have enjoyed being able to discuss that with all of you. However, the problem or the issue, the concern, is that
Excuse me, could the audience please stop and let the public speak? Thank you.
The issue or the concern, I believe, is that I was wrongly denied to be able to even present, to submit an application for an activity permit. That should not happen. There may be things in it that you then can deny or write up and say this can't be done or that has to be changed. But you do not, especially since the township is losing money on the permit fee as well, you don't say that, no, you can't file this at all. And the circumstances under which it happened, I apologize. I got very rowdy myself, but I want to read a little bit of the beginning of what I was trying to get that permit for. It's about an end-of-winter festival. The festival would have started this weekend, January 27th and 28th, run for 30 days, ending on February 25th, although the hours could change and the day's amount of time could change based on if anybody was using it or not. The festival this year would have provided a temporary private ice rink, private, and that is only for Vernon residents and/or Special Olympic athletes and/or their families. Part of signing up to sign a waiver, and that use of it is prohibited if snowing or a tent has any snow accumulation on it. This is for safety of anyone who might be there. Signing up and use of it is free. The start date is when my mother passed last year. There would be a dedication of the rink in her honor, with it being named after her. The Special Olympics are held the week after, and while no events will be on it this year, the families and the athletes would be allowed to use it, even though they may not be residents of Vernon. And it would run through President's Week and on the weekend that it ends. One of the reasons I got upset was, as this mentions my mom, this has been a rough year for me. It's not just losing a parent. Unfortunately for me, there was the step sisters and litigation, and that dragged on and stuff. My way of handling things like that is to work, work, work. And as part of that, I neglected, I should have, I apologize, doing the proper thing of going to the Land Use Board and getting everything done. I had submitted to Mr. Zimmerman via his contact form, since his daughter is an avid figure skater, if he might be willing to help us get it through the Land Use Board, and if not, if he could recommend other people. I didn't hear back from him, and then I just got too busy and crazy doing other things. What I'd like to see, and what I'm asking for, is that the council do something to allow this. And I think you can. I've seen times before where the council has made variances and allowed. I came here years ago for the sign variance, to allow for temporary signage for the period of the holidays. I'm asking for the same thing to occur here. The same thing when you do the one sign that goes across the road. The councils have approved that before. If you've got all the other stuff that's in here, you know all the other points that I brought up. So I just ask that you help me to help provide something really nice for our residents, a free ice skating rink, and for the Special Olympians. And like I said in my memo, regardless of what happens, I will dedicate it on Saturday to my mom. Thank you.
Mr. Martinson, I just wanted to let you know that last night I did forward your email to Josh Zielinski, our municipal attorney, not Marlon. This is actually Marlon, but he's filling in. But, and, you know, if our attorney would like to read, because I have the response, so if he would like to respond, you know, because we did get that.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Thank you for coming out. At this juncture, I'll recommend that the council not respond to this on the record. It's my understanding that there's a pending municipal court matter. In light of that, I don't think it would be appropriate. Moreover, to the extent you need to make an application to any of the relevant boards in town, feel free to do so.
Okay. As I mentioned in there, unfortunately, the Land Use Board is not here this week, and that was part of the violation to be able to go to the Land Use Board. I can't do that because they're not meeting this week. The timing and stuff is such. Also, under the circumstances of what happened, not even accepting the permit that I was trying to file, and the methods used, and some of the comments that were made to me, and stopping me from putting their hand over my hand and stuff, I think, yeah, I'll still go ahead, like I said, with, I'm just sorry that you might feel that way. To me, the best thing for a council and for a mayor who doesn't respond either, it took a whole week, and he still didn't respond, is you're hurting or potentially keeping something worthwhile from the residents and from Special Olympians. Why?
Thank you for your comments. Is there anyone else that would like to step up?
Good evening, Noreen Moran, Great Gorge Village. Short and sweet, I'm here about our rate hike from the MUA, which for me it's $15 a month, and it's impacting horrendously.
I think they're a quarter. Is that a quarter?
It's $15 a month, I believe.
Mine's gone to 80.
That's $20 a quarter.
Went from 162 to
Yeah.
177, okay, instead of doing the math.
Yeah, just wanted to, because it's on the record, I just wanted people to know it's per quarter, not per month.
Exactly. Okay, it's a lot. It impacts all other bills are going up for all of us, for you people also. I understand there has to be a hike rate. But what's the next one going to be? And what's the next one going to be? We've been here before, different council, different mayor. And what I would like to see, maybe we can arrange it, is a meeting between members of the MUA, members of the town council, some of the residents of Great Gorge Village who it is impacting, who are knowledgeable, have done the research, maybe do a sit-down to see from this point on what we can do so that we're not slapped again with a large rate hike. So maybe, Jean, you know how to get a hold of me? If this is something you'd be willing to do with us, we can arrange it, sit down and talk, and maybe we can come up with some kind of a solution other than just keep coming and talking about it and getting nowhere and then getting the raise.
And in February, I think you end up, the MUA has the reorganization, I think towards mid-February. I'm not exactly sure of the date. That might be a good time to also address some of your concerns, too.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. Is there anyone else from the public that would like to address the council? Seeing no one else, may I have a motion to close to public comment?
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Nope. Mayor's report.
Thank you. Legends update. The tenants in Legends have been without hot water now for at least 10 days. I notified all applicable agencies and other elected officials for advice and assistance that they may offer. At this time, we believe that the DCA inspector visited Legends on Friday and issued an imminent hazard order, which gives the proprietor 48 hours to cure the hazardous condition. Today, the inspector went back to the site, found there is still no hot water. The DCA learned that the imminent hazard order has been contested by the owner. So the issue must go before the Office of Administrative Law for a hearing. The DCA cannot take further action until after the hearing, which should occur within the next 48 hours. DCA was told by the proprietor that a plumber was coming either today or tomorrow. Congressman Gottheimer and I have been in contact with one another all weekend long over this. The congressman has contacted the principal owner several times regarding who is the contractor or what part is needed to repair this condition. Mr. Myers is unable to provide any of this information. Senator Orho's staff is in contact with the DCA and is following up with them. We will continue to follow up on this matter daily, and today was by hour. The bat that was recovered at Legends tested negative for rabies. In other matters, the EC chairman and I met with Greener by Design to discuss retaining their services. They will be forwarding a contract in the near future. Items that we discussed: Masker Marsh, trail management system, grants, and property acquisition. I want to advise the council that I did not sign the DPW Vernon Township MUA contract. Upon review, I discovered an error. The license operator is to receive $700 a month for a stipend for his license. The contract stated $600. I have advised the MUA and the license operator of this error. I will sign the contract once the error is corrected, and now that this governing body has been advised of this error that I found. Mr. Volker, Ms. Yetter, and I met with MaxBan. MaxBan will begin the market analysis and develop appropriate strategies for the auction of township properties not required for public use. The auction is scheduled for April 18th. The draft of the area in need of redevelopment study has been received. The final copy will be completed in the near future. I will forward it to the governing body. A land use board hearing is scheduled for February 14th. We continue to work on the budget. A major concern of mine is the reserve for uncollected taxes, because hundreds of thousands of dollars are owed to us by different LLCs in this township. The taxpayers need to understand that only 23 cents on every dollar they pay is dedicated to municipal services. 77 cents is county and school taxes. The county and school taxes are paid whether a property owner pays his taxes or not, by us who do pay our taxes. Examples: there are 190 liens and legends. Outside liens at Mannery is $263,657.54. Municipal liens at Legends are $1,232,644.18, for a total of $1,496,301.72. There are 199 liens in Tall Timbers. I do not have that financial figure at this time. Northwoods, taxes owed, $169,000. $588,000 in compliance fines are also owed. The 8th floor in Legends, it is estimated that between Seasons, Condo Holdings, Shinnenon, and Adler Steinhardt, approximately $35,000 is owed in back taxes and interest. For the record, Mountain Creek paid all its financial obligations last year. This year, they're looking at $448,481.25 due January 31st. On March 1st, $187,000. In June, $211,000 for previous sewer bonds. On another note, Minerals has not paid its $66,000 for its sewer bill. This is for the last 2 quarters of their service of the sewers. It is not fair to us who pay our property taxes to cover the school and county taxes owed by LLCs and other persons who do not pay. Vernon does not need businesses who do not support our community. It is my fiduciary duty to aggressively seek payment of property taxes, compliance fines, and other financial obligations, and we will use every legal means to do so. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have council comments. Councilmember Kadish?
No comment.
Councilmember Van Tassel?
No comment.
Councilmember Allberger? Councilmember Ohms?
Yes, I know I spoke about this at reorg and last council meeting as well, and again this council meeting. Public continues to speak about the speaking times during our agenda, and I'd like to see that the first 3 minutes and the last 3 minutes are for any item. I feel you'll be bending these rules anyway when big groups of people come in. You'll move them to the front, which has been done in the past, so I feel it's not going to be adhered to as well. And the 7:30 start time, look at the 2 reporters, they didn't even know that.
No, the newspapers have been notified, so that's
Well,
not our concern that
came
the
at
reporters are
7:30.
here. They can get a copy of the tape as they do.
Whatever, that's not the problem here. It's that 7:30 is not an appropriate time for people to get here, especially when you commute out of town. And I believe we're going backwards. I think we should be more receptive to the public so people can get here at a reasonable time without having to rush and can say whatever they want during these 2 speaking times. I don't know why they were changed. So I would like to make a motion to change it back to 7:30.
We're not making a motion. That's not on the agenda.
I can make an
No,
emotion.
it's not on the agenda. It's not on the agenda. Do you have any other comments?
Come on.
Do you have any other comments?
Why
Do you have
are
any
so-
other comments?
No, but why can't we discuss
Okay, then
this?
I'll make my comments.
Wait, why can't
Do you
we
have any
discuss
comments?
this? Why
As I
can't
said to you, if you'd like to discuss something, call me.
No,
This
I
is a
wanna
council
discuss
comment.
it. We're all here together.
This is a
to
council
try to
comment
affect us.
section.
This is our meeting.
Then you could have called me and asked me to put it on as a discussion item.
No, we're all here together. Why can't
Okay,
we
then
discuss
I'll go
it
on to my
now?
discussion.
This is what a council is about, discussing issues.
Here's my comments. I'll move on to my comments. I'd like to address the misinformation that Ms. Rinker brought forward. And if anybody here, I'm sure most of us are familiar with this Faline building, her information is inaccurate regarding that distressed property known as the Faline building. The Faline building being auctioned off that property, the price of that property will not affect the surrounding properties, because that will not be taken into consideration. As a matter of fact, if somebody were to purchase it and enhance that building, it will only add to the town center. It would only add to the value of the surrounding properties, not deter from it. So it would be good if people that were to step up to the public, such as someone that has been in the business for such a long time, would actually bring accurate information.
You are inaccurate.
And you are out of order. Motion to adjourn?
Inaccurate.
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Meeting adjourned.
Aye.
Aye. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.